And joining me now is someone very familiar with the musical chairs that we play here, Riggs Eckelberry, Origin Oil, OOIL. Good to see you again, Riggs.
Hi, Don.
Now, I've been reading so much in the news as of late about how everyone is really paying so much more attention to renewable energy. I mean, you can't pick up a newspaper and not find a story about it. You can't go to an online news site and not find a story about it. And here you are, Origin Oil, with a process to create biofuel, raw material from algae. Tell us about that.
Well, Don, it almost feels like we're old timers.
Right.
You know, now USA Today was yesterday with a big article, and now everybody's on to the fact that algae is the only possible fuel. Why? It doesn't come from a crop, a food crop. It doesn't use good water. It doesn't need arable land. It's really ideal to compete with petroleum. In fact, as you know, algae was what the forerunner of petroleum today. So it's just a great feedstock, as we call it, for this renewable energy revolution.
Well, what I really find interesting about your vision, so to speak, is that you're not, Origin Oil does not plan to get into the business of erecting huge refineries and being one of these behemoth corporations, but you're really looking to license your technology to entrepreneurs, to municipalities, that there's several of these, many of these all over the world, correct?
Yes, and it reminds us very much of the dot-com revolution, and there's that wonderful book, The New Thing, so we're the new thing, where really people didn't know what it was going to be like. And any huge redefinition of a market like this needs pure technology players. A great example is the IBM PC, and IBM thought they were going to make every PC ever. We know how that worked out. There's clones everywhere, right. But Microsoft is in every single one of them. And so we want to kind of be the Microsoft of the algae industry so that anybody can make them and really encourage an open source sort of approach to making algae systems with our help.
And the idea with the algae, of course, is that your technology permits basically a daily or a multi-daily crop of algae, and it continues to perpetuate itself as it goes along so that there's substantial raw material for conversion into biofuel.
Yes, we know that algae can be bloomed on a daily basis and harvested at this sort of, we look for this trend line where right here it's the sweet spot, and we start, stop, and pull it and start the new growth and harvest on a hyper-growth basis daily.
Okay, now of course, there are vehicles that are being manufactured today that run on the E85 fuel, and biofuel has been a product where they've been using corn and wheat as the raw material. That didn't work because it drove the prices of food up, and you can't use food for fuel. There's got to be a mix here, but there's not a whole bunch of people eating algae.
That's true. And furthermore, there's hope for ethanol. Ethanol is a great fuel. Wartime economies have run on them before, and as you say, there's infrastructure in place for it. Algae can be used to make ethanol. So all those huge plants, billion-dollar plants in Iowa and elsewhere, they can let the corn go to, the rightful users, us, and then algae could be used on site in one of these sort of brewery boxes to feed it right into the mash.
Is the process to make biofuel from, say, corn pretty much the same as it would be from algae?
Absolutely. Very similar. You choose, and again, it's a matter of choosing the right strain of algae. And if you use a high starch strain that basically doesn't have oil, you just go ahead and ferment it, and you make algae mash. Might make a good whiskey. Who knows?
So we're going to have super. We're going to have premium algae. Again, Origin Oil, OOIL is the stock symbol. For more information, give us a call. Toll free 888-259-4449. Riggs, thanks again.
Thank you, Don.